What if I told you that Luis Suárez, one of the most ruthless strikers of the modern era, once admitted something that quietly shook the Messi-Ronaldo debate? Not about Ballon d'Ors, not about goals, not even about trophies, but about what it feels like to survive on the pitch next to one and against the other. Suárez says one of them makes the game feel calmer, slower, almost under control, even when you're losing. The other? He turns every minute into a war, every mistake into a death sentence. Same generation, same era, two legends. So why does Suárez claim that playing with one felt like freedom, while facing the other felt like constant danger? And more importantly, what does that reveal about Messi, Ronaldo, and the true nature of greatness in football? Before we begin, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it if you enjoy deep football stories that go beyond goals and trophies. Luis Suárez is not a neutral observer in the Messi-Ronaldo debate. He's part of its inner circle. At Barcelona, Suárez lived the golden years of Lionel Messi from the inside. Between 2014 and 2020, the two formed one of the most devastating partnerships football has ever seen. Alongside Neymar, they created MSN, a trio that didn't just score goals, but redefined how attacking football could flow. During that period, Suárez scored over 190 goals for Barca, many of them born from movements that only worked because Messi was reading the game seconds ahead of everyone else. On the other side, Suárez faced Cristiano Ronaldo again and again at the highest level, in Clásicos, league title races, Champions League knockouts. He watched Ronaldo score 50, sometimes 60 goals a season, turning tight matches into brutal, irreversible outcomes. Even today, that contrast hasn't faded. Messi, at nearly 38 years old, still leads attacking charts with more than 70 goal contributions in a single season, controlling matches with intelligence more than speed. Ronaldo, well into his late 30s, remains obsessed with output, turning every touch into a threat on goal. Same era, same ambition, different ways of dominating football. And that's where Suárez's confession becomes unsettling. Because if both men win, score, and break records, why did one make him feel calm and the other make him feel hunted? That question takes us to the moment Suárez finally said it out loud. Luis Suárez didn't make his confession in a heated debate or a headline-grabbing press conference. It came out quietly, almost casually, and that's exactly why it mattered. Years after leaving Barcelona, reflecting on his career, Suárez was asked a simple question. What was the biggest difference between playing with Messi and facing Ronaldo? He paused, not because he lacked an answer, but because the answer wasn't about football skills. It was about feeling. Suárez explained that when he played alongside Messi, there was a strange sense of security. Even in chaotic matches, even when Barcelona were under pressure, Messi seemed to slow everything down. The game obeyed him. Defenders hesitated. Midfielders froze. And as a striker, Suárez felt it instantly. If he made the right run, the ball would arrive. Against Ronaldo, the sensation was the opposite. Suárez described it as permanent alert. You couldn't relax after a clearance. You couldn't celebrate a goal. You couldn't even assume a match was finished because Ronaldo didn't wait for the game to come to him. He forced it to collapse. One moment of weakness, one defensive mistake, and the punishment was immediate. This wasn't a comparison of talent. It was a confession about pressure. And from that moment on, Suárez's words opened a deeper truth. Greatness doesn't just beat opponents. It changes how everyone else behaves. When Luis Suárez said that playing with Messi felt calm while facing Ronaldo felt dangerous, he wasn't taking sides. He was describing two different types of domination. With Messi, Suárez explained, the game breathes. The ball moves, defenders shift, space appears where none seem to exist. Messi doesn't rush the moment. He absorbs it. For a striker, that changes everything. You stop panicking. You stop forcing runs. You trust that if you move intelligently, Messi has already seen it. That's why so many players say they play better with Messi. Not because he shouts, not because he demands, but because he removes fear. Ronaldo, according to Suárez, does the opposite. Facing Cristiano means living in constant tension. Even when his team is struggling, even when he's barely touched the ball, Ronaldo is present. His movement is aggressive. His intention is clear. He doesn't wait for harmony, he creates urgency. Defenders don't relax. Midfielders don't switch off. Strikers can't hide. Because Ronaldo's greatness is built on pressure. He makes the game vertical, brutal, unforgiving, one cross, one rebound. 1 second of lost focus, and the match is gone. So when Suárez speaks of calm versus danger, he's revealing something deeper than style. Messi dominates time and space. Ronaldo dominates moments and outcomes. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Both forms are terrifying, but they terrify in completely different ways. That realization pushes us beyond personal experience and into history. Because Suárez's confession doesn't just describe Messi and Ronaldo, it explains why football itself has been divided for over a decade. What Luis Suárez revealed doesn't belong only to Messi and Ronaldo. It belongs to football history. For decades, the game has always operated between two archetypes: the orchestrator, who controls rhythm, space, and intelligence, and the conqueror, who decides matches through force of will and execution. Messi stands in the lineage of players who bend football to their understanding. Like a chess grandmaster, he doesn't need speed or power to dominate. He needs time, angles, and silence. Teams built around him tend to trust possession, patience, and collective movement. You don't feel rushed, you feel guided. Ronaldo represents something else entirely. He belongs to the lineage of players who break games, not manage them. His presence forces systems to adapt, defenders to panic, goalkeepers to overthink. Teams built around him become sharper, more vertical, more obsessed with the final action. There is no comfort, only urgency. And that difference changed modern football. Messi inspired a generation of playmakers, false nines, midfielders who wanted to think faster than they ran. Ronaldo inspired a generation obsessed with numbers, physical preparation, mentality, and relentless repetition. Neither path is wrong, but they lead to different worlds. This is why Suárez's confession is so powerful. He doesn't say who is greater. He explains why the debate exists in the first place. Because fans aren't just choosing a player, they're choosing a philosophy. Do you believe in control or explosion, in harmony or dominance? And that question brings us to the most important part: how this confession should change the way we judge greatness. What makes Luis Suárez's words truly uncomfortable is not what he says about Messi or Ronaldo. It's what he says about everyone else. Because greatness at this level is not just about what you do, it's about what you force others to become. Messi reshapes his teammates. Around him, players think clearer. They take fewer chances. They trust the pass. Even average players look intelligent because Messi removes chaos from the game. He makes football feel solvable. Ronaldo reshapes his opponents. Against him, defenders become anxious. Midfielders drop deeper. Goalkeepers position themselves earlier than usual. The entire match bends toward prevention. You're not trying to play well. You're trying to survive. And that's why the debate has never ended. One type of greatness elevates, the other intimidates. Suárez's confession doesn't crown a winner, it exposes a mirror. When people argue about Messi and Ronaldo, they're often revealing their own vision of football. Do you admire the player who makes the game beautiful or the one who makes it merciless? Because in the end, Messi and Ronaldo didn't just dominate an era, they split it in two. And now, after hearing someone who lived it from the inside, the question is no longer who is better. The question is far more personal. What kind of greatness do you believe in? Luis Suárez didn't end the Messi-Ronaldo debate. He explained why it will never end. Because Messi and Ronaldo are not two versions of the same idea. They are two opposite answers to the same question. How do you win a football match? One controls the game until it submits. The other overwhelms it until it breaks. And maybe that's why this rivalry defined a generation. Not because of trophies or records, but because it forced every fan, every player, every coach to choose what they value most. Now it's your turn. After hearing Suárez's confession, who would you rather play with and who would you rather face? Tell us in the comments, like the video if you enjoyed this story, and subscribe to the channel for more deep, honest football narratives. This debate isn't over, and it never will be. And here's the part most people miss. Luis Suárez didn't just describe Messi and Ronaldo, he described us. Because every time this debate explodes online, every time timelines burn, every time friendships crack over a comment section, what we're really arguing about is what kind of football moves us. Messi represents trust. Trust in intelligence, trust in timing, trust that beauty can still win at the highest level. Ronaldo represents obsession, obsession with improvement, obsession with dominance, obsession with never accepting limits, not age, not context, not history. One makes you believe football is a language. The other makes you believe football is a battlefield. And maybe that's why Suárez's confession hits so hard. Because he's not speaking as a fan. He's speaking as someone who felt both forces on his skin. He felt the calm of knowing the right pass would arrive, and he felt the fear of knowing the game was never safe. So when people ask, who is the greatest? Maybe the real question is different. Do you want football to be something you understand or something you endure? There is no wrong answer, only honesty. And that's why this rivalry will never die. Not because Messi and Ronaldo keep playing, but because they represent two truths that will always exist in football. Now tell me, which truth is yours? Luis Suárez didn't end the Messi-Ronaldo debate. He revealed why it was never meant to end. Because Messi and Ronaldo aren't two versions of greatness. They are two definitions of it. One makes the game feel understandable. The other makes it feel unbearable. Messi wins by making football quieter, slower, almost logical. Ronaldo wins by making it louder, faster, and impossible to escape. And maybe that's why this rivalry marked an entire generation. Not because of trophies, not because of numbers, but because it forced everyone who watched, players, coaches, fans, to choose what kind of football they believe in. Luis Suárez lived both worlds from the inside. He felt the calm of knowing the right pass would arrive and the fear of knowing the match was never safe. So when people ask, who is the greatest? Maybe the question is wrong. Do you want football to be something you control or something you survive? There is no correct answer, only honesty. And that is why this debate will never die. Not because Messi and Ronaldo keep playing, but because they represent two truths that will always exist in football. Now it's your turn. Who would you rather play with and who would you rather face? Tell us in the comments, like the video if this story made you think, and subscribe because football's greatest stories are almost never just about football.